Hello, and welcome to another episode of Fire Emblem 3 Warriors. So I promised last time that I was going to go straight for the campaign mission. I lied. Because, as you might be able to see, we have quite a few little bits and pieces to be dealing with. I haven't gotten everyone in the Black Eagles yet, or these DLC characters, but I have made my way to getting all the story characters in this campaign, all maxed out in sports. Let's have a look what we have then.
Ah, I wanted to speak with you. You have made quite the name for yourself recently.
Oh, thanks.
A true feat for one so young. It is a shame you could not continue your studies at the academy. If only you had been graced with the opportunity to cultivate your knowledge and gain more experience alongside your classmates. It is likely you would have become influential enough to impact Fodlan's very future. You have grown silent. Is something on your mind?
What do you all think of me? Honestly. We've fought enough battles together. You know I've got this mysterious power. You and Rhea, you're suspicious of me, aren't you?
Yes, I admit you are right. We have yet to determine if you are truly trustworthy. The power you possess is different from that of a crest. That alone is cause for suspicion, if I may be so blunt. You might not bear us any ill will. But what if you were to succumb to the manipulations of someone like Tomas?
That doesn't sound very likely. Although I guess it's possible I could accidentally hurt someone with it.
Precisely. And furthermore, the victim of said accident could be the Archbishop, or my sister, Flame. We must remain vigilant to even the slightest possibility of danger. I know the Empire often accuses the Church of exploiting the people to fill our coffers. But the fact remains that the Archbishop has always gone to great lengths to maintain peace in Fodlan. She also serves as the spiritual guide for the vast majority of citizens here. We simply cannot risk losing her, even if it is only a 1 in a million chance.
Well, okay. If that's the case, what do you want me to do about it? I can't just leave. That would be a huge problem for Dimitri and everyone else.
I have no intention of telling you to go. I am well aware of how much the king values you. However, I would ask that you keep your distance from the Archbishop, and to stay away from Flame as well. This could prove difficult given you two serve in the Kingdom Army together, but it is a personal request. I know this all may be unpleasant for you, but will you agree to do so?
I'll try to be careful around the Archbishop, but avoiding Flame is a bit much. Don't you think you're being a tad overprotective?
I cannot be too careful. As her brother, it is my duty to protect her.
It's alright, really. I'm not sure what this power is myself. I mean, it's my body and all, but I really have no idea what it's gonna do next.
In time, I hope you discover the true nature of your power. If there is anything I can do to assist you with the matter, do not hesitate to ask.
Will do. Thanks.
Oh, hello. You're looking rather sharp today.
Huh? But this is just the same thing I always wear. It's actually so dirty, it's kind of embarrassing.
Well, aren't you humble? I happen to think that all that grime complements your rugged appearance rather well.
Grime? Hey, if that's how you see it, I'll take it. These clothes are probably starting to stink a bit, though. Hold on. I smell something, and it's definitely not grime. Flame, are you wearing perfume?
You noticed? This delightful fragrance is apparently in fashion. A dear friend of mine gave it to me.
Wow, I can't believe there's still perfume and fashionable stuff in these dark times.
They exist precisely because of the times. We must not allow the darkness to consume us.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, you think I could try some of that? A little style never hurt anybody. The battlefield can be a depressing place. I could use a little more positivity.
Of course! I will bring you some later. It is certain to brighten your day. Besides, discussing popular trends always livens up a conversation, don't you agree? Oh, I know! Why don't we go to town and seek out the newest styles? You do not have any other plans today, do you? Come then, there is no time like the present. Okay, next is... Oh, that stall over there appears to have some lovely merchandise.
Whoa, there's more? We should probably head back soon, or Sedith will...
Worry not, my brother is still working. He mentioned he was particularly busy today as well. Actually, it has been a very long time since I've been out shopping like this.
Does Sedith not allow it? He sure seems to want you in arm's reach at all times.
That is correct. I am afraid he cannot help but worry incessantly about me. If he knew that I was out alone with a gentleman friend, I am certain the situation would become quite disastrous.
Disastrous?
But enough about that. Shall we continue our shopping expedition? I am sure there are many more fashionable items just waiting to be found.
Are you sure it's all right? What if someone says something? If Sedith hears we were out alone together...
I do not believe anyone would go to such lengths just to tattle on us. Most people find my brother intimidating, so it is unlikely anyone would approach him over something so trivial.
Well, all right. I'll keep you company a bit longer then.
Hey, was it not I who initially offered to keep you company?
You did?
Don't you remember? You spoke of your low spirits and said that the latest fashions would cheer you up.
I did?
Yes, you did. Now come along. Let us look over there next.
Oh well, not gonna rain on her parade now.
Oh, it's so late. I didn't mean to take this much of a detour.
Just getting back?
Hey, Dudu. Hope I didn't worry you.
You didn't. You were in town, yes?
I went to pick up some supplies, but on the way back I saw these flowers blooming, and I just couldn't help but pick some.
Ah, yarrows.
They're used as an ingredient in healing salves, although you can also slap the leaves on your wounds and get mostly the same effect. Oh, and I plan on soaking them in alcohol. It'll produce a liquid that can be used for a wonderful ointment. Though I suppose it would be faster to just use healing magic.
You seem well informed on the subject.
Lenato knew all about it. So I picked up a few things from him.
Lord Lenato had an interest in plants?
Oh sure, he kept tons of botanical encyclopedias and books like that in his room. He loved flowers. He even kept a small herb garden at Castle Gaspar. Hey, you like gardening too, right? I mean, you were always watering the flowers in the greenhouse back at Garreg Mach.
I suppose I do, though I know little of the medicinal properties.
Yeah, I guess knowing how to grow plants is different from knowing how to use them.
Even so, the greenhouse was a treasure to me.
You're right about that. I found flowers there I'd never even seen in Castle Gaspar's garden.
I would like very much to visit this garden of yours one day.
We should go! Of course, a lot has happened since I last saw it, but my younger siblings should still be looking after it.
I look forward to it. Though, how did Lord Lenato come to know so much about medicinal herbs?
He used to serve Grand Duke Rufus, so... maybe he studied them while he was in the capital.
Perhaps.
Sorry, I'm just sitting here chatting away when I should be off making myself useful.
Of course. Medicinal herbs. Ash, you've come at the perfect time.
Why is that? Oh no, am I interrupting?
Not at all. In fact, I'd like you to try this tea.
Sure. Did you create this blend yourself?
I did. Your talk of medicinal herbs inspired me to study them. I created a number of different brews, thinking I might find one suitable for His Majesty. But first, I would like your opinion on the quality.
Taste testing, is it? I'd be happy to help. Oh, this tastes like...
Yes? How do you find it?
What did you use in this?
The same flour you gathered before, mixed with some other herbs, then steamed. I read that doctors in the capital frequently concoct a similar blend. Does it not suit your tastes?
No, I love it. It actually reminds me of something. Of course! This is what Lenato used to give me when he first took me in.
Lord Lenato used to brew this tea?
He sure did. Wow, this really takes me back. I wasn't born into a noble family, so when I started living with Lenato, I had no idea how to act. I was nervous as anything at first, but I'd always calm right down the moment I drank his tea.
I did read that this tea is useful for calming nerves. Perhaps he was trying to make you feel at home.
That sounds like him. I was pretty young at the time, so I never knew what kind of tea it was. But this definitely has the same flavor. Strange to think I've been in the capital for 2 years now and never came upon it again until today. I wonder if Lenato ever served this tea to Grand Duke Rufus.
He never said?
No, I guess the two of them had a falling out a long time ago. He never really talked about his time in the capital. But I think he started studying herbs as a way to help the Grand Duke. Just like you're studying them to aid His Majesty.
It's possible.
Anyway, thank you, Dedu. That really hit the spot. Hey, would you teach me how to brew it sometime? I'd love to let everyone else try it.
Yes, of course.
I'll figure something out, I promise. Just write to your father, okay?
I will.
Hey there, Dedu. Can I help you with something?
No, just passing by.
You sure? Looks like you really want to say something.
I was touched by your interaction with that woman.
What's that supposed to mean?
During our academy days, I often heard untoward rumors about you. You had a tendency to skip training and a certain reputation concerning women. You caused His Majesty all manner of headaches.
I can't deny that. But that's all in the past. I'm a lot more responsible these days, don't you think?
Don't expect praise for merely doing your job.
Right.
Though I have been curious about what caused this change of heart.
Change of heart might be taking it a bit too far. It's just, I always see how Dimitri and Felix are out there doing all these amazing things. So I can't very well be goofing around when they're off making names for themselves. Call it a sibling rivalry.
Sibling rivalry?
They're like brothers to me, which is exactly why I don't want them looking down on me.
I see. I understand how you feel. I had a younger sister.
Had? Oh. Tell me about her. What was she like?
She loved flowers, and often made crowns out of them. And once she set her mind to something, nothing in the world could change it.
Aw, she sounds sweet. And a little intimidating.
You cannot flirt with the dead, try as you might.
Whoa, hold on. I was just being honest. I'm sorry I never got the chance to meet her. I mean, if her protective older brother didn't kick me into next week first.
I may just have done so. Sylvain, You should visit Dusker after this war is over. My sister's grave is there. It's nothing special, but I would like to show it to you sometime.
I would love to, my friend. And I'll make sure to bring a giant bouquet of flowers with me.
She would like that very much.
Me! Teach me how to cook next.
All right. I will teach you a special recipe that is certain to delight everyone back at the church.
His Majesty is looking for you, Mercedes.
Goodness, whatever was that about?
My apologies. I have a tendency to frighten animals and children. Perhaps it's my imposing stature. Or perhaps it's because I'm from Dusker.
I doubt animals know anything about the tragedy of Dusker, Dedu. Still, I think I may know how to solve this little problem of yours.
Oh?
You see, many of the children here have lost homes and families. They tend to be a fearful bunch. And as a large man who is also unnaturally quiet, you cut a doubly scary figure. So all we have to do is show them how not scary you are.
And how do we do that?
Come back tomorrow. I'll have it all worked out by then.
Very well. Done. Here's your flower crown.
Wow, mister. You're just as amazing as Miss Mercedes.
Yeah, this is the prettiest flower crown I've ever seen.
It's like an actual royal crown. Well, make one for me. Please, please, please.
I could. Though it would be better to learn how to make your own.
Oh, but my crowns always look all... bleh.
Anyone can do it with enough practice. Well, perhaps not anyone. But if you find it difficult, you can always ask a friend for help.
Fine, I'll try. So how do I start?
Twist the stem there and wrap it once, but gently.
Well, how did it go? They certainly looked at ease around you.
They were indeed, and I owe it all to you.
All I did was brag to them about the magnificent flower crown you made for me.
How very clever.
Oh, please, I barely did a thing. It was your kindness that won them over.
You are the kind one, Mercedes. Thank you.
Miss Mercedes! Mr. Dedu! Look how far I am.
Oh, that's wonderful. Might you teach me how to make one as well, Mr. Dedu?
It would be my pleasure, Miss Mercedes. Need something?
I have been noticing that you are going out of your way to be helping me. Even more than the others. Why is this?
You're a foreign queen. Neglecting you would reflect poorly on His Majesty.
You do not need to be worrying. I possess skill at adapting. Before, I was thinking Fargus was too cold. But now, I have become adapted to it.
Good.
But I am experiencing a problem. I still have struggles with the language of Fodlan. Perhaps you can be teaching me?
Me? Teach you the language?
Yes. I know the tongue of Dusker also has many differences from Fodlan's. But you speak as if this is your land of home.
You give me too much credit.
I am spending my days with native speakers just like you. And I am always studying with hardness. But you are still surpassing me in this language. How did you become this way?
His Majesty taught me. He felt it unproductive to communicate in broken sentences, so we spent years teaching each other.
An exchange of languages! That idea is a wonderful one. If Dimitri found success teaching you, maybe you can be doing the same for me. Do we have agreement?
Why me?
You said that Dimitri is not wanting me to be neglected. Not being able to convey my feelings is giving me great sadness. It is making me feel frustration and loneliness.
Ah,
When I was first in Fodlan, I could not be saying anything in this language. Whenever Edelgard was speaking to me, I could only be staring back at her with big, confused eyes. Then I decided to be studying on my own. But the nobles were laughing and saying my words were ugly.
it was the same for me, but His Majesty was always close. If ever I struggled with a word, he would teach me.
But I was a hostage. I was without such a teacher. Until today. Now I am having you.
I suppose you do.
Thank you. That is making it much clearer. Didu, what are you looking at?
Just admiring your diligence. You're different than I used to be. You can already make yourself understood. Why is it so important to master this language?
For the future. Bridget's and mine. I will be the queen of Bridget. I must be having good diplomacy with Fodlan.
Because your country's stuck between two powers, Fodlan and Dagda.
Yes. And no matter who is winning this war, Bridget must be attending negotiations. If the Empire gains victory, my betrayal will be causing much trouble.
Most likely.
I must be defending myself and my actions. I must be making myself understood.
And that's why you study so intently.
Yes. If I am working hard now, maybe I can achieve a better outcome later. Will Bridget and Fodlan be having a good relationship? Or a bad one? The answer is on my shoulders. And I am thinking it is the same for you. You will be leading relations for Fodlan and Dusker, yes?
Yes, though there's only so much I can do. His Majesty wants to make Dusker independent one day, and I will do all I can to help him.
For much time, I thought you were simply the guard of his body. But this is wrong. You work without rest for the good of your people. You tell Dimitri what you are thinking. You have much responsibility. It is very impressive.
I don't know how much good I have done, but I care for my people and their future. We have that in common.
Yes, we are alike.
Indeed.
So let us be winning this war together and seeing both of our dreams come true. Fodlan and Duska for you, Fodlan and Bridget for me. With your with your help, I can accomplish so much. Can I count on my mentor to be sharing more wisdom?
I'm a mentor now?
Yes. And I will always be here for you too. All you need to be doing is asking. Now, keep teaching me more words, my mentor. I have eagerness for learning.
Felix, what are you doing here?
I had business in the capital. Speaking of, I hear you're that boar's knight now.
Or... Oh, you mean His Majesty.
Yeah, him. You must have it rough with a tiresome man like that leading you.
I think you're exaggerating, Felix. I wouldn't call him that at all. In fact, he even does our jobs for us sometimes.
See, that's exactly why he's a problem. You should steal your job back from him once in a while. Use force if you have to.
Felix, are you?
Anyway, the castle has certainly changed in the past, 2 years since he took over? For one thing, there are many more commoners among the knights.
You have a good eye to notice that. But yes, His Majesty says there are pros and cons to it. For example, knights from noble families tend to be more polite and respectful. There were a lot of scuffles and misunderstandings in the beginning, but things seem to be calming down now.
And which are you, noble or commoner? You became a knight on Lord Lenato's recommendation, right?
Yeah, my situation is kind of strange. I'm almost stuck right in the middle. Still, I feel like there are things only I can do precisely because I don't fit into either box. But whenever I'm in real trouble, His Majesty and Dedue always come to my aid. So that's good.
Dedue as well, huh?
Yep, even the knights accept him as one of us now. No one's a better cook or more skilled with their hands. And he's a proper demon on the battlefield to boot. I hope to be more like him someday.
Please, no. One of him is more than enough. Especially that blind loyalty. Imitate that and you'll only end up throwing away your life on the battlefield.
Oh, are you worried about us? That's sweet, Felix. I always had the impression you cared for your friends, and now I know I'm right.
Excuse me?
I mean, sure, the things you say are pretty harsh, but you can't bring yourself to actually abandon someone. You always show so much concern for me, and for Dedue, and even for His Majesty.
Yeah, well, it'd be more work for me if anything happened to you, that's all. I'm busy enough as it is. Can't afford to take on more issues.
Well then, I'll do my best not to add to your problems.
I doubt you'll need to try that hard. You do a decent enough job of supporting folks already. So, keep up the good work and maybe I'll lend you a hand someday. You know, if you need it.
Thanks, Felix. I'll be counting on you.
Mercedes, good. I need your help.
Felix? Why do you have a cat?
Picked it up?
Yes, I can see that, but... Oh no! Its little leg is hurt! Here, let me have it. I may be able to heal it with magic. There. It should be fine now.
Thanks. Sorry for the trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. Though I must admit, you're the last person I expected to bring me an injured kitten. It reminds me of how my little brother once took in a cat when we were young.
Hey, that's right. You have a brother from a different father, right?
Yes. This was a long time ago, when we both still lived with House Bartels. My brother took in an injured cat, and after it healed, it began living in the mansion. We did our best to feed it secretly so it wouldn't be discovered.
Secretly? What's the big deal with one little furball?
We couldn't let anyone find out no matter what. The people in that house were horrid. Had they learned of the cat, they would have put it in a sack and tossed it in the river. Eventually, my mother and I left House Bartels and never looked back. Though we left my brother behind. Still, I've always wondered what happened to that poor little cat.
Animals are smart enough. If the thing felt threatened, it would have taken off.
I suppose you're right.
Anyway, now that you've fixed the cat, I should bring it back to where I found it.
Are you sure? It's clearly taken a shine to you.
Yeah, but I can't keep it. The thing's practically a kitten. What if it has parents that, I don't know, miss it?
Yes, I suppose returning it would be best.
All right, go. Shoo! Come on, get out of here already. Stop rubbing my legs. What is it? You want food? Well, I don't have any.
Ah, that cat really likes him. Animals clearly understand when a kind soul comes to their aid.
Mercedes, do something. This cat won't stop following me.
I'm sorry, but there isn't anything I can do. You'll have to wait until it feels like going home. Goodness, really? Having a cat like you is a good thing.
I'm not sure it is.
Well, so long as you're stuck waiting, we may as well get comfortable and have a nice chat.
Hey.
What kind of greeting is that? I gave you my title, not free license for insolence.
Spare me the lecture. I have a question about the lords of Southern Fraldaria's territory.
So you're having trouble with them as well, are you? Let me guess. They're withholding provisions. Or perhaps they refuse to send troops they promised.
How did you know?
Because I've been through the same thing with them any number of times.
Southern soldiers are unskilled, but they make up for it with sheer numbers. I need their cooperation, yet they refuse to negotiate. And I have no idea how to convince them.
Yes. I imagine they're dealing with their own issues.
And what issues would those be?
When they refused to send reinforcements for the invasion of Sreng, it was because the lords were embroiled in a succession dispute. If one house sent soldiers, the others would pounce on the opportunity to move against them. But mere letters could never have told you something like that.
So you went around to each territory personally?
Yes. Though considering we're presently on war footing, doing so now would be unwise.
Well, that's hardly helpful, but I'll take it into consideration and see what I can do. Something funny?
Just thinking that you've grown into a fine duke.
Were you expecting me to fail? You're the one who gave me the title, after all.
True. But I inherited the role when I was much older than you. You're doing extremely well for your age. It seems I raised two very capable sons.
Don't tell me you're glorifying Glenn's death again.
Felix.
I've been walking in your footsteps, serving our king and leading an army of knights. After all that, I thought maybe I'd come to understand you a bit better. But I still can't stomach what you said that day.
Looks like I overstepped yet again. Perhaps the two of us will never see eye to eye. If Glenn were alive, I half suspect he'd say I was being childish.
You're really eyeballing that giant stack of documents there, Ash. Let me see what you've got. Records of military drills, archives of city taxes. You know, if you're searching for a particular needle in this load of hay, I can help you out.
Oh, I'm not looking for anything specific. I just thought they'd be good to study.
You're going to study all this?
Yeah. With the academy closed, I haven't had a chance to focus on learning lately. So, I thought I could give my brain a nice workout by reading old records and archives.
Hey, good for you taking the initiative. If it weren't for all this fighting, you and me would be living the schoolboy's dream right about now.
Right? We could be training together, taking classes on history and magic.
And when the ethereal moon comes, we'd go dancing with all the girls at the ball.
That's not quite what I had in mind.
So, are those records actually helping you?
Yeah. The ones on old military drills are especially interesting. It's fun just looking at them.
Just looking, huh? You might want to read a little deeper there. I mean, take this one for example. It talks about how the three northern houses held a joint exercise in 1166. And apparently they did so in the middle of a raging blizzard. It was so bad that some of their soldiers died, but they went ahead and did it anyway. Any idea why?
Drills in the snow in 1166. Oh! Were they trying to prepare for a confrontation with Sreng?
Nailed it. They were training for the northern conquest they carried out a few years later. In other words, they'd already decided to try and take the north by 1166. So if you look at the other drills during that time, you might be able to piece together what the late king was thinking.
Interesting. You know, another document did mention an exercise conducted in Guinevere.
Because they'd already predicted that Sreng forces would cross the mountains, which meant battling in harsh desert terrain.
And that's why they were forbidden from using horses during that drill. It's amazing how you really start to see the bigger picture when you dig into details like that.
And that's why keeping records is so important. Anyway, I've probably bothered you long enough.
No, wait, teach me more. I mean, if you have time.
If you really want to learn, you're better off asking an actual professor type. I'm just, Sylvain.
No, you're a great teacher, and I can always ask them things when we're in the capital, but they won't be around when we're on the march. I just want to learn more so I don't embarrass the other knights. Please?
No, not the puppy dog eyes. Oh, fine, I'll help. But don't expect too much.
What lovely weather. Morning walks really are the best. Is that Ash? I thought it was you. What are you doing out and about so early?
Morning, Annette. I've been teaching some of the townspeople how to read and write, as well as some basic math skills. We were all so into it, we didn't notice the time slipping away, and now... it's suddenly morning.
Wow, that's so good of you, Ash. What made you decide to do that?
When I went into town earlier, I found a merchant selling medicine at outrageous prices. But people were all snapping it up without even questioning it. Well, I couldn't just stand by and watch it happen. So I called a couple folks over to show them the math. A few more people came over, and then a few more. And before I knew it, I found myself becoming their teacher.
That is so you. But seriously, I think it's amazing. If you ever decide to break out the chalk again, I'd love to help. You can handle reading and math and stuff, and I'll teach him magic and history.
Really? That would be great. I enjoy studying a lot, but I don't think I'm very good at actually instructing people.
Well, they are two completely different things. Speaking of which, didn't Lord Donato teach you your letters and numbers?
Yes, although my father showed me some basic arithmetic as well. Donato always used to say that study is the path to one's own morality.
What does that mean?
Well, there's no universal rules for what's right and what's wrong, you know? So you have to find your own morality, something you can believe in and stick to, no matter what. He also said a person needs knowledge and education to make that happen.
I suppose knowledge does grant the power to make sound judgments. I mean, I saw everything differently once I started attending the School of Sorcery and the Officers' Academy.
Most of the people here lack the means to attend such institutions, but they still contend with danger and lies on a daily basis. I want to give them the tools to see their way clear of that. So, I guess that's why I'm teaching them. I want to meet them as an equal, not as a Knight of Fargus, but as someone who knows exactly what they're going through.
That's incredible, Ash. I think I could learn a thing or two from you, too.
What's wrong, Ingrid? You look troubled.
Oh no, it is nothing. Don't worry about it.
It has to be something if you're just standing there staring off into space. You can always talk to me, you know. I might not be much help, but...
It's this land. It is so fertile. I cannot help but be amazed.
It is an unusually bountiful region for Fargus, and a beautiful one at that. It doesn't have nearly as much snow as the north, and multiple rivers flow through it. I could scarce take my eyes off of that wheat field we passed earlier.
My home does not have anything as lovely as that. It's nothing but a barren, rocky wasteland, and the soil we do have is so poor even the weeds disdain it. We've tilled the ground, removed rocks, and sowed seeds in hopes that our descendants might one day benefit, but, well, who knows how long it would take for us to have large, fruitful fields like the ones here.
Our blood, sweat, and tears will drench the land, serving as nourishment for those who come long after. You may not accomplish it in your lifetime, but the effort will definitely pay off down the road. Or, that's what I think, at least.
Those are the words of King Lugh, yes? From Lugh and the Maiden of Wind. That is one of my favorites.
Yeah, hearing you talk about your homeland actually reminded me of another part. At one point, it uses the phrase, barren as the land of Dagda. I'm sure it's just some term the poets created long after Lugh, but it got me curious. So I went and tracked down a travel journal about Dagda.
I haven't read many travel journals. What did it say?
It spoke of a crop that grew easily, even in their infertile soil. Apparently it's really filling, and it's amazing when boiled or baked.
It sounds too good to be true. Like a crop out of a fairy tale. My homeland would greatly benefit from cultivating a plant like that.
I can't say for certain if it'll actually grow there, but it's probably worth looking into. And if there's any way I can help, just say the word.
I am sure a royal knight has better things to do than worry about the problems of House Galatea.
This isn't about my station. I'm just a pal lending a hand. Besides, I grew up poor. I know what it's like to go hungry. No one should ever have to experience that.
Thank you, Ash. In that case, our first task is to look deeper into this miracle crop of yours. I wish we could wait until this war is over, but that would take too long. I want to learn all I can about it as soon as possible. Oh, this is so exciting.
Agreed. Now we just have to survive long enough to uncover its secrets.
This lovely weather gives cause for my feet to wander of their own accord. Oh, I think I spy a familiar face! Good day, Ash.
Morning, Flame. Out for a stroll?
Yes, and you are... fishing?
Yep. The army's a bit short on provisions, so I was thinking I could help add to the pile.
What a simply splendid idea. Can I take a look at your catch?
Oh, help yourself. I've been out here since before dawn, so there's quite a few fish already.
Goodness, you're right. You must be a talented angler indeed.
Oh, thanks, Flame. And yeah, not to brag or anything, but I'm pretty confident in my abilities with the old fishing pole. My brother used to take me fishing in a nearby river when I was little.
So he taught you all you know? Oh, I used to go fishing with my mother long ago, but I haven't done it in years at this point. And if I even think about getting close to a river now, my brother swoops down to give me an earful.
I'm sure he's just concerned. I'd be scared to let my younger siblings fish all by themselves, too. Do you want to give it a go now?
Really?
Why not? I mean, I'll be right here to make sure you don't fall in or anything.
Thank you very much, Ash. I'm going to catch a big one. Oh, I hooked one!
Look at that line bend! It must be huge!
Curses! It escaped.
I caught a glimpse of its shadow when you tried to reel it in. That thing was a monster.
I'm surprised to learn this river is home to a fish as large as that.
Same. I've been coming here for a long time and never once seen one that big.
It is decided then. The next time I find that fish, I will capture it. Will you join me again when that time comes? My brother will be more amenable if you agree to be there watching over me.
Setteth amenable? Yeah, that'll be the day. But sure, I'd be glad to tag along.
Oh, this one is really pulling the line.
It must be our monster! Time to put what you practiced into action.
Yes, I am no longer the clumsy novice you slipped away from before, foul fish! It's not working! What do I do?
Don't give up! Play your line out a little, and let the fish tire itself out.
Like...
Yeah, that's good. Now wait... Wait... Now! Pull as hard as you can! Flame, look out!
We did it, Ash! Oh, I can scarce believe I managed to capture the beast.
Yeah, that was close. I thought the fish was going to catch you there for a second.
Yes, I might have gotten a bit carried away there. Had you not grabbed my arm when you did, I might be swimming in the river myself.
I'm glad I could help. Seriously glad. And hey, I'm amazed you managed to hang on to the pole through all that.
I told myself I would not let go, no matter what.
Hold on there, Flame. You have to let go sometimes. None of this is worth putting yourself in danger over. I think I'm starting to see why Sedith doesn't let you go fishing. Still, you never would have caught that fish without that fierce determination of yours.
Mother taught me to always see tasks through to the very end. But even she never fished up anything so large as this. And though she is no longer around, I would like to think she would be very proud of me.
So that's why you're so interested in fishing. Well, I think this was great, and I'm sure your mother would be proud.
Goodness, you do know how to compliment a lady. Still, I promise to surrender my pole if I ever find myself in this kind of situation again.
Well then, why don't we haul this thing back?
Yes, and then we can feast on the spoils of our victory. I wonder what it tastes like. I can't wait to find out. But, I cannot even fathom how best to prepare such a fish. We could slice it up and fry it, or boil it with vegetables, or... there are so many choices!
This has been so much fun. Flame really reminds me of my sister. She was always so eager to practice in the kitchen when she was little too. Hold on. Flame in a kitchen. Hey, wait up! Let me help you!
Thank you for joining me on this moonlit stroll, my dear lady.
Thank you for the invitation. I've always been fond of such nighttime wanderings. The moon and stars are lovely, and there are also certain flowers that bloom only at night.
Count on you to know something like that. You'll have to point me in the direction of those flowers sometime.
Yes, well, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I heard you were getting engaged, and I was just wondering how you felt.
Goodness, someone is well informed.
Well, your fiancé-to-be is a noble from Gautier territory. It's only natural word would find its way to me. Are you going to accept? I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy or anything, but...
No, it's a fair question. However, as my adoptive father backs the proposal, I doubt I have much say in the matter. Though if I did, I'd likely refuse. There's still so much I want to do and experience in this world. Still, I doubt there's much hope of the parties involved relenting.
Why not just turn him down like you do all the other guys?
I've refused so many proposals that my adoptive father has run out of patience. And as he's already initiated the marriage discussions, it would be difficult to back out now.
That lowlife doesn't care about your feelings at all. He just cares about that crest of yours.
We don't choose our bloodline, just like flowers don't choose where to bloom. If being married means I will never know want, then I've no right to complain, even if it is not my preferred outcome. You're much the same, yes? People like us have to try to bloom as best we can.
I never really thought of myself as a flower, but I get what you're saying. Flowers are stuck in the same spot for life, whether they like it or not. And if they happen to sprout in a bad area, they're out of luck. But we have legs, not roots. We can go wherever we want. And we don't have to give up on our dreams, so long as we're clever about it.
I see. And what is your clever solution in this case?
Well, if your only goal is to end negotiations with this guy, I could ask you to marry me instead.
I'm not sure I follow. You would marry me, so I don't have to marry someone else?
To be perfectly clear, I'm not making advances on you or anything. But I'm the heir of House Gautier. If I ask you, this other guy will have no choice but to bow out. Though I doubt he'd be happy about it. After that, you can do whatever you want. Go work at a church, or ladle out soup, or whatever makes you happy. I won't stop you.
But that would prevent you from marrying the person you love.
Okay, look, it's just an idea. You've got lots of options available to you.
You really do know the ways of the world, Sylvain. I've always admired that about you.
The honor of receiving such a compliment from you lifts my feet from the ground. But seriously, let me know if you need any help. I'm always here for you.
From the slimy depths of the swamp they rise, great beasties of every shape and size. They dance in a ring and... No, that's not right. Their slime they fling and... Huh? Who's there?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Are you getting in a little choir practice there?
Oh, it's you, Sylvain. Were you listening that whole time?
Pretty much. I must say, that song's super creative. You're the only person I know who could think up something like that.
I feel like you were about to use another word there.
Nope. Great song. Top notch. A+. Are you going to perform it soon?
I was actually gonna sing it for everyone later tonight. I came up with the lyrics and tune myself, and now that I'm finished, I can perform it loud and proud.
And it's a song about swamp beasties. Did I hear that part right?
And what's wrong with swamp beasties?
Nothing in particular. It's just that if you're gonna sing it in front of everyone, maybe it should be, I don't know, relatable? I mean, swamp beasties are so beastie. Wouldn't it be better with a puppy or a baby sheep or something like that?
I see what you're saying. Cute animals, cute animals. Oh, what about bears? Huge ones.
Yeah, I guess huge bears are better than beasties. I mean, they are pretty cute when they're not trying to tear your face off. Okay, that's good. Except I'm pretty sure bears don't live in swamps. So if you switch it up, it should probably be about giant bears dancing in the woods.
That is the most adorable thing I've ever heard. Are you secretly a professional songwriter, Sylvain?
Absolutely not. In fact, I feel like I should apologize for butting in with ideas when you've clearly been working so hard on this.
Oh, don't apologize. If it helps make it a song everyone will enjoy, I'm all for it. I'm glad we're close enough for you to give your honest opinion.
Well, I've never been one to ignore hardworking girls like you, and I'd love to hear it when it's finished. Wait, what's with the look? Did you come up with the new lyrics already?
Yep. Your suggestions gave me all the inspiration I needed.
Impressive. Why don't you sing it for me?
Of course. I'm sure you'll love it. From the forest they appear, a sleuth of bears with cute round ears. They dance in a ring and enjoy the beats, but tonight they'll feast on meaty treats.
That actually might be more creepy somehow. But hey, maybe writing weird songs is a talent all of its own. At the very least, they're great at distracting me from real-life worries. Thanks, Annette.
That was quite the sigh. What's the matter, Sylvain?
Oh, nothing. Well, except there's a guy in my unit who keeps acting up, and I'm not sure what to do.
You don't say.
I don't think I like the face you're making.
Let me ask, just to be sure. Is this mysterious troublemaker in fact you?
Hey, I've changed. I swear I have. But no, it's not me. It's one of my knights. He keeps walking around breaking stuff and getting into fights, and I'm spending all my time apologizing for it.
So you finally understand how I felt. You know, I never thought this day would come. You really have changed, Sylvain. Perhaps this warrants a celebration.
Then you better bring your purse because I'm ordering 2 of everything. Seriously, Ingrid, you don't have to sound that impressed. With school suspended and the war raging, we've all had to adapt to changing circumstances. Felix and Dimitri both succeeded their fathers, and are now burning the candle at both ends, right? I can't go around causing trouble with unending scandals when I'm supposed to be the mature one of the bunch.
It is wonderful to see you turn a new leaf.
I told you to stop sounding so impressed. Ugh, I suppose I had this coming.
I am sorry, Sylvain. I was only teasing. Think of it as payback for everything you put me through. Still, not having to clean up after you has been a real weight lifted from my shoulders.
Yeah, I was a handful in my wild days, but looking back, I really appreciate everything you did for me.
In that case, you should make the change permanent so you never cause trouble for anyone again. Though, honestly, I do not really know what to do with myself now that I am not spending all my time apologizing for you. Frankly, I was convinced you were useless without me.
Sorry. Again.
Please, no. You gave me experience I'd never have gotten otherwise. If I were truly miserable, I would have abandoned you to the wolves long ago. Besides, it wasn't all bad. You were the one who finally coaxed me from my room after Glenn's death, remember?
Okay, I'm confused. Do you want me to go back to being a huge flirt, or...?
Don't be ridiculous.
Figured.
As you said, we have all had to adapt to changing circumstances, which means we cannot cling to the past forever. You and I are no exception. It is merely a touch sad to come to the realization.
Annette, how does that song about the dancing swamp beasties end?
It wasn't swamp beasties, it was bears. A song about dancing swamp beasties wouldn't be nearly as cute.
It was supposed to be cute? Anyway, I'd never heard a song like that before, and now I can't get it out of my head.
Wait, really? Wow, I'm flattered. But it's not like I can make up the rest of it on the spot. Why don't you go see an opera or something? Get a better song stuck up in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Guess I've been interested in seeing an opera in the past, but I've never gone.
Now that you mention it, I don't know if they even perform opera in Fargus. But the church is in Camulus now, and they have volunteers who put on operas every now and then. I've been helping Dorothea and the others there, and it's really expanded my repertoire of songs.
Well then, sing one for me. Just belt out whatever pops into your head.
You got it. I'll sing you my favorite. Me, me, me. A shimmering life burns down to ash. Then since I'm all hot and sweaty, I hop in the bath. Soon I get real dizzy, which puts me in a tizzy. But eventually I feel way, 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 way better. So I decide to hop back in the bath again. Whew.
Huh, you take baths when you're already hot? That's some impressive fortitude. I think I underestimated you.
Oh.
Wait, but then you get back in the bath even though it made you dizzy. You must seriously love bathing. Well, this has been fascinating. I had no idea operas could have such unexpected developments.
Operas aren't like that at all. That's just an aria I learned a long time ago, and I don't even really remember the words. It wasn't supposed to be a song about taking a bath. It was supposed to be serious.
Wait, really? That's much less interesting.
No, you don't... Look, a real opera is much better, all right? I'll take you to one sometime, and you'll see. It'll take your breath away when you hear it. I bet you'll fall head over heels in love.
Fine. But let's save it until the war's over. If it's really that good, I want to make sure I give it my full attention.
Then we're definitely going to see an opera. It's a promise. It's fine, we're fine. Everything's fine here. Just gonna grab it and run right back out.
Good evening, Annette. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you.
Oh, Ingrid, it's just you. Sorry about that. Guess I'm a little jumpy right now.
Don't worry, it's fine. But if I may, what are you doing out here so late at night?
I forgot my book in the mess hall and came back to grab it.
What a coincidence. I was also headed to the mess hall to look for something.
Oh, yay! Then we can go together. Seriously, I'd feel so much better if you were with me.
Not entirely sure why that's the case, but okay.
Oh gosh, it's so dark. Ah! What was that? I think it came from the grass over there.
Probably just another night owl. I wonder if it's...
Annette, stop! You're going to run into that pile of... Ow! Who put these crates here?
Crates. Oh, Annette.
Well, that was quite the ordeal, but we finally made it. Thanks, Ingrid.
I'm glad nobody got hurt, aside from you and those crates. But if I may, Annette, are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah, actually. I've been afraid of it my whole life. I give anything not to be, but I just can't seem to shake it. What about you, Ingrid? Aren't you scared? I mean, a ghost could pop out of anywhere and ghost you.
The dark does not really bother me, no. And as I have never seen a ghost, I'm not afraid of them.
But doesn't it scare you to think about it? I mean, just imagine some icky dead person rising from the earth and coming at you with big, chattery teeth.
Certainly, we had such stories back home in Galatea. My brothers loved to tell them when I was a child. But if they were true, we would not be able to walk to breakfast without bumping into a horde of the dead.
Huh. Yeah, I suppose that's true. But it's still hard to get the idea out of my head.
I personally think it would be wonderful if the dead became ghosts and we could see them again. But when people die, that's it. We can't see or speak to them ever again.
Yeah, when someone dies, they're gone forever. But that's all the more reason to treasure what little time we get, right?
Agreed. We have only one life to live after all.
In that case, I'm gonna walk back all by myself.
Are you sure? We went through quite the struggle just to make it here.
If I want to conquer my fears, I'd better do it while I'm alive. The dark is still pretty terrifying, but I'm gonna push through it.
I could learn a thing or two from her optimism. We only live once.
Dorothea! Dorothea!
Hello, Flame. What's got you in such a frenzy?
Is it true that you were a diva in Enbar? And that you were praised as having a mystical voice?
I hope I'm more than just my voice, but that's all essentially true, yes.
Then I would beg a boon of you. Would you give me a singing lesson?
Of course. But where is this coming from?
Well, you see, sometimes the soldiers all break out into song. And when they do, I always find myself wanting to join in. Their voices hold such grand aplomb. But the only songs I know are dreadfully old. So, I had hoped that you might instruct me as to the popular songs of modern soldiers.
Is that so? Well, I'd be more than happy to help. In recent years, a new musical style has come into fashion, one involving challenging songs with many overlapping parts. Why don't we start with a little vocal warm-up? Repeat after me.
Certainly, Professor Dorothea.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. My, I feel as if I have become quite good at singing. The power of song is certainly remarkable. It is as if I have been revitalized from the very core of my being.
I agree. Songs can be very empowering indeed. In fact, I recently heard an old tale about how a song once ended a war.
Truly? I have never heard this tale. Would you mind regaling me with it?
Sadly, I don't know much more beyond that. I'll do some digging, but the person I heard it from wasn't too familiar with the story. Try not to get your hopes up, okay?
Oh, I see. Perhaps my brother might. Oh, it is nothing. Since you will be looking into it, I shall do a bit of digging as well. If I learn anything, I will be certain to tell you. Dorothea, I have it!
You have what?
I have learned more about the story you mentioned the other day. The one regarding the song that ended a war.
That's incredible. How did you manage it? I've been asking around myself, but I haven't learned a thing.
I actually asked my brother. Or to be more specific, I just so happened to stumble across it in one of his books.
I see. And what did it say?
It is the story of a woman who ended a war with a song. This took place a short while after the Empire emerged victorious from the War of Heroes. The brother of an imperial noble started a conflict regarding the succession of their territory. It was a minor struggle at first, but gradually the other neighboring lords became caught up as well. It became quite the event. One thing spiraled into another, and soon they were on the cusp of a war that threatened to splinter the very empire itself.
Nobles are always like that, no matter the era.
At the time, one woman was very worried about the state of affairs. A childhood friend of the two brothers on opposite sides of the struggle.
Oh, now that's a development right out of the storybooks.
She made her way to the battlefield, which was on the brink of exploding into violence, stood between the two armies, and began to sing. She filled her every word with the hope that the brothers would not be driven to fight. And it went like this. I remember with fondness days long past with those I love. With warmth in my heart I think of them and sing to the stars up above. Hands once linked now carry swords, filled with rage and bloody, and with their smiles forgotten, they seek the sweet release of death. The sound of her voice in song moved not only the hearts of the two brothers, but of their armies as well. Soon, they all dispersed and returned to their homes. Having settled their differences, the brothers petitioned the Emperor to change their territories. So that there would be no lingering grudge, they asked to be given lands at the east and west ends of the Empire, with the capital betwixt. And that is the tale of how House Benya and House Menya came to be.
You know, I just realized something. The name of the Middle Franc Opera Company means Friendship at the Center. It's taken from a festival of singing and dancing that was held in the capital long ago in the hopes of fostering peace. Maybe the origins of this festival are found in the story you just told me.
Do you truly think so?
Noble houses divided with the capital between them? Singing and dancing in the center for peace? I don't think it's a coincidence.
Now that you say it, I find I must agree. Which would mean that you, Dorothea, diva of the Middle Franc Opera Company, might use your talent to bring about the end of war. That would be quite something were it to come to pass.
I wonder. But let's put old tales aside for now and continue our lessons, shall we? Perhaps if we pray and sing for peace, happiness really will find us all.
Flame, it has come to my attention that you have gone out and aided the Knights of Seros again. I heard that you made your way to the infirmary and spent the entire day treating the sick and wounded. What in the world were you thinking? Do you not know how dangerous that was?
I am sorry, brother. However, the knights very much appreciated my assistance.
Their appreciation is inconsequential. Your own safety should be your only concern. This is exactly what happened during that fated battle. You exhausted your strength, healing those who were injured.
Yes, I remember. No matter how many people I helped, the number of wounded only increased.
You were so young. Your body must have been crying out for you to stop, and yet you refused. And now you are left with a body that demands extended periods of slumber. You have not forgotten, have you?
Of course not.
If you do not exercise extreme caution, you may not wake up were such a thing to happen again.
I am well aware. Every night I lie awake, afraid that my eyes will not open come morning. But if I let fear control me and begrudge my power, there will be no reprieve for those who suffer. The thought of that is too much to bear. Furthermore, if we lose this war...
Flayn. Should that come to pass, I will protect you. No matter the cost, I swear upon my wife, your mother.
Father, I have been wondering something. Is it truly so difficult for the people of Fodlan to live in peace? The world would be a much happier place if everyone could live in harmony with each other.
I know. I feel the same. But so do the majority of those risking their lives in this war. That is why I believe a peaceful future awaits us. Beyond this dreadful conflict. That is the reason I fight. And so you do not have to.
Father...
If I lost you, I would lose the very meaning of my life. And so we will always be together.
Come now, Father. Please try to understand that I cannot stay with you forever. I will grow up eventually. Though I do promise to refrain from any unnecessary recklessness. And until that day comes, I will always be with you. Besides which, I am certain Mother would be cross with me if I left you all alone.
I understand. Thank you, Flayn.
Well, that's that. So the next episode will be the actual campaign. Promise this time. Till next time, guys.